Well, Mr. John, thank you for coming back in today. What was it like for you, the whole intake process?
Stressful.
What made it so stressful?
Um, Preconceived nerves.
Okay.
Just something new.
Okay. So I know I talked a little bit about during the intake about, I know one of the things you said that you were nervous about and some of your preconceptions were that your doctor had sent you here to a pain psychologist because he thought this was all in your head, right?
Well, a lot of it.
Yeah, thought a lot of it was in your head. Yeah. So one of the things we talked about was the approach that we take to chronic pain and not, and do you remember the three-pronged approach that we talked about a little bit?
No.
Okay. So, and we're going to go into detail about each prong, so that was not a test. You didn't have to pass that. You did fail, but that's okay. So the three-pronged approach is, that there's different ways in which we're going to help to turn the volume down on your pain, right?
Okay, I remember that part.
Yeah. So, and one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to work on rebalancing your nervous system. Because when your nervous system is out of balance, then you have a lot of different stress hormones that are coursing through your body. You said that in PTSD treatment you had heard it called fight or flight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so when you're in fight or flight, you have many, up to 90 different stress hormones that can be coursing through your body. And, I know that we talked about it kind of like lighting you up red, right? So there's all this inflammation kind of in your body. So, whatever could hurt will hurt, right? When you're really inflamed. And so rebalancing your nervous system is one of the things that we're going to work on. And we're going to talk about something called an HPA axis. That's something I sent you a worksheet on this week, but we'll talk more about that in a few minutes. The other prong is neuroplasticity. So we're going to talk about how people with chronic pain, their brains actually look different than people who don't have chronic pain. And there's certain parts of your brain that are kind of bigger and more active than other people, and certain parts of your brain that are less active. We're going to try to shift that a little bit. And we're going to try to rebalance your brain almost. And one of the ways we're going to do that is, you said that you've been through cognitive behavioral therapy before for the PTSD and depression piece.
Yep.
So we're going to use something called cognitive behavioral therapy for chronic pain.
Okay.
So that's we're going to do some, some self-talk. We're going to talk about your self-talk. We're going to talk about how you're perceiving your pain and just a bunch of different ways to turn the volume down on your pain.
Okay.
That's the second part. And then the third part in this clinic is that we do an anti-inflammatory diet. Again, going back to the idea that inflammation really heats up any kind of pain that you can have. So when you start to reduce your inflammation, I think you're going to see a dramatic change in just the experience of your pain. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, good. And I know last week you said that the neuropathy that you're having, that you felt like, once you had the feeling of neuropathy, you just decided that you shouldn't move because the more you moved, the more it hurt, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about that next time.